Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Juliana Pasquarosa and Grant Ellis, the Bachelor Season 29 couple, marked a new milestone in their relationship by introducing him to some key people in her life. Juliana, a 28-year-old client support associate from Newton, Massachusetts, and Grant, a 31-year-old day trader from Newark, New Jersey, were engaged at the end of the Bachelor Season 29, following a dramatic finale in which Grant was torn between Juliana and runner-up Alicia Gare. However, since the program concluded, they have been quite happy together, and they even revealed that they went on their first dinner date after coming out of hiding. The fact that Juliana invited Grant to meet her coworkers indicates that she wanted him to meet the most important people in her life. During her hometown date, he met several of her favorite family members, and now she's introduced him to another set of people who are very important to her. As Juliana and Grant negotiate their relationship in the real world, they will become increasingly involved in each other's daily lives. Therefore, it is critical that they get to know those closest to them. I think it's wonderful that Juliana captioned her post, "Bring your husband to work day." It's reminiscent of when she referred to him as boyfriend on The Bachelor Season 29. Juliana demonstrated her desire for a future with Grant by referring to him as her boyfriend and later as her husband before either of those things were true. She takes their relationship extremely seriously, as does him, which I believe is a good sign that their engagement will eventually lead to marriage. I'm also pleased to note that everyone in Juliana's life who meets Grant, from her family to her coworkers, appears to adore him. Her family had no reservations about him and greeted him with open arms. According to Grant, it was Juliana's hometown date that sparked his interest in her as a potential partner. Now, the Bachelor winner's coworkers have welcomed him into their family. I hope Juliana and Grant's love continues to develop and last forever. The excitement was palpable in the air as Juliana Pasquarosa stood by the office door, nervously smoothing out the hem of her blouse. It was an ordinary Thursday, but for her, it was the day that signified a new chapter in her life. Today wasn't just about work or catching up on emails. It was about bringing her fiancé, Grant Ellis, into a more significant part of her world. Her coworkers were used to her sharing stories of Grant. She talked about him often since their engagement at the end of the Bachelor Season 29, but this was different. Today, Grant would walk through the door not as a figure from a reality TV show, but as her fiancé, someone she had built a real, lasting connection with. Juliana's excitement was a mix of pride, nerves, and anticipation. She had introduced him to her family during their hometown date, but this was something else entirely. The people she worked with every day, who had seen her grow both personally and professionally, were about to meet the man who had captured her heart. Juliana could barely contain her excitement as she texted Grant, who was en route to meet her at the office. They had spent so much time together outside the public eye, and it was thrilling to see their relationship continue to blossom, far beyond the constraints of the TV show that had originally brought them together. He's on his way, Juliana thought, her mind racing with thoughts of how the day would unfold. The last few months had been a whirlwind. From their engagement to the quiet dinners, to now introducing him to her coworkers and seeing how they would react. Everything had happened so fast, but somehow it felt like the most natural progression. As Juliana sat at her desk, reviewing some client emails, she tried to focus. Her thoughts kept drifting back to the past few months. How did I get so lucky? She thought. From the moment she'd first met Grant on The Bachelor, she knew there was something special about him. Their connection had been undeniable, even when Grant had been torn between her and the runner-up. Gear in the final moments of the show. It had been a roller coaster of emotions, but as time went on, Juliana felt more confident that Grant was the one. Grant, too, had expressed how much he cared for her. He had been vocal about his reservations at the end of the show, but in the days after the finale, he had taken steps to prove his commitment. He had never wavered. Their first dinner date outside the show had been one of those moments where Juliana felt as though their relationship was finally entering the real world. He couldn't help but smile. There was something about Juliana that made him feel at home. Over the past few months, he had become more accustomed to the idea of being with her in the long run. Their engagement had been a dream come true, but it wasn't just the proposal that made him believe in their future together. It was the quiet, intimate moments they shared when no one was watching. Grant had grown up in Newark, New Jersey, a city that had shaped him in ways he hadn't fully realized until he moved away for college and later became a day trader. He wasn't used to public displays of affection or making grand gestures. In fact, he was more of a private person, yet with Juliana, everything felt natural. From the moment they met on The Bachelor, he knew there was something different about her. She wasn't just beautiful, she was genuine, kind, and had an effortless way of making him feel comfortable. Now, as he approached the building, Grant couldn't deny the nerves that were creeping up. He had met her family already, and that had gone better than he could have hoped. But meeting her coworkers, this was another level. These were the people who saw Juliana every day, who knew her better than anyone else. Would they like him? Would they see him as the man who could make her happy? As he hit send, he smiled. It wasn't just about impressing her coworkers. It was about showing them the man he was now. Someone ready to build a future with Juliana, not just a future of promises, but a future built on real, everyday experiences. When Grant walked into Juliana's office, he was greeted with an unexpected round of applause. The atmosphere, which had initially been filled with the hum of busy work and buzzing phones, shifted as the employees stood up to welcome him. It was both heartwarming and a little overwhelming for Grant. "Welcome, Grant." Juliana's best friend from work, Mia, was the first to speak up. She was a tall woman with dark, curly hair and a bright smile, someone who Juliana had mentioned on several occasions. "It's about time you made an appearance around here. Juliana's been talking about you nonstop." Grant's nervous laughter spilled out before he could stop it. "Well, it's nice to meet everyone finally. I'm honored to be here." Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.